Hey everybody, Charlie here. Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock Monday morning here, and I've got a cup, a mug. This kind of is a cup or a mug, I don't know. But I've got my holding vessel of Darjeeling, and I'm gonna go take a walk around Japan. I thought this would be a cool kind of way to A, show you some of where I live, B, have like a video series where I can just sort of ramble and not necessarily have to think about a specific topic. And also, I don't know, I guess that's it. But I also wanted to keep it within like a limited time frame, hence the whole one cuppa. So once we're done with the tea, we're gonna end the video. And yeah, tea, coffee, whatever, it'll change week by week. So there's some suspense for you right there. It's been pretty cool. Check this out. The fields were very recently harvested, so they've gone from like these beautiful I feel like yesterday I was hungover. I feel like I'm still hungover, but only insofar as my brain doesn't work. But maybe that's just my general state of being. But yeah, previously the fields were just gorgeous. They were green and gold, and all the stalks were just sort of bent over from the weight of the rice, and now they're just muddy and brown and sort of nasty. But such is life, right? Everything has its season. Really foggy here in Sabaya this morning. And actually, I'm wearing flannel for the first time of the season too, because it's the first time in 6 months that I've woken up and I've been cold, actually. And I know some of you out there love your hot weather, right? But I'm from Buffalo, and not to say I don't like warm weather, but if I'm melting, I just sort of get angry all the time. So it's nice for me. I like waking up and being a little chilly and being able to put on warm clothes and being able to enjoy a cuppa. It sounds so stupid, doesn't it? But anyway, without sweating. I like being able to cook breakfast without sweating. So it's nice, you know. And actually, soon too, the leaves are gonna start changing, and I'm really excited to be here for that, because fall is actually one of my favorite seasons. Fall and maybe the first half of winter are my favorite, I guess. But yeah, the thing is that the leaves are gonna change, and there's so many places around here that are known for like leaf viewing, temples specifically, where you can go hang out at the temple. These temples are like 1,000 years old, right? It's old Buddhist establishments where you can go check out the leaves. And yeah, like for example, I thought I might go there today. There's a place called Eiheiji. It's about an hour and a half from me by train. That was built in something like 1294, and recently it was declared like a national heritage site. So it's pretty important to the Japanese cultural wealth, if that's a thing, I guess. And so that'd be cool. But it not only has something like 90 different buildings on the campus of the temple, which is pretty incredible, I think. It's still a working temple, so there's still a bunch of monks living there. Just gotta get across the road without getting killed here. Yeah, it's still a working temple, so there's still monks there doing their Buddha thing, well, attempting to do their Buddha thing, I guess. Check this out over here. This field hasn't been harvested yet. Oh, I see a couple of my kids. I see a couple of my students down there. Yeah, this field hasn't been harvested yet, so it's still kind of pretty, right? But anyway, so Eiheiji, 900 years old, still a working Buddhist temple. Looks amazing from the pictures I've seen during the fall. So I thought instead of going there today, and the weather's not the best anyway, that I'll go check it out probably over Silver Week next week, or in a couple weeks once the leaves have actually started to sort of die, right, and turn colors. Related to that though, if you've gotten this far through my rambly bits, thank you very much. Related to that, let's talk Kyoto. Let's talk Kyoto for a minute here. Actually, I'm gonna switch arms. I wonder if I can do this without dropping my cup. Woo! Sorry, I almost lost you there. Check this out. It's the Ieyasu clan crest. What is the Ieyasu clan crest, you might be asking yourself? It's the clan of the family Ieyasu, one of the most, well, the most in the end, important warlords of the Sengoku Jidai. So, lots of good stuff out there if you're interested in reading about that. But Kyoto, right? So for those of you who don't know, November 15th, that's tea on my hand. For those of you that don't know, November 15th at 3 p.m. there's going to be a meetup in Kyoto. I don't know that I should really be calling it a YouTube gathering, but that's definitely supposed to be its purpose, right? It's for YouTubers from all over the country to get together, and not just the YouTubers, but the people who watch their channels and like our videos and want to meet some of us, which I'm not sure if that is an extension of extreme narcissism or not. But anyway, so the plan is we'll meet in Kyoto we can either probably meet at Kyoto Station, or we can meet at Tofukuji Station in Higashiyama. The Higashiyama, like that section of Kyoto, right? And then we're gonna go to this really, really nice temple called Tofukuji, hence the station name. And I thought we could head from there, walk the temple grounds, see the leaves. After that, if we want, we can hit another temple, pretty much doing the same thing. And then we'll head to a place also in Higashiyama called the Pig and Whistle, which is a British style pub with Guinness and fish and chips and all that good stuff. And the cool thing is that I talked to the owners of the place, and they're giving us a nomi hodai deal for 2,800 yen for 90 minutes for all you can drink Guinness and other imports. So I think it's actually a pretty sweet deal. Hot topic. I love this tunnel. I love it so much. And I know you're probably saying to yourself, man, that is a cement tunnel. What is so exciting about it? Ugh, don't be spider webs. Don't be spider webs hanging down from these things. And nothing's all that exciting about it. Like, I know it's just a cement tunnel, but thank you, Vine. Spiders. Yeah, it's just a cement tunnel, but I don't know, either because I've seen too many Disney movies or because I like writing fiction, I don't know. It always makes me think of the tunnel that, what's her name? Chiro walks through in Spirited Away. So I often imagine that I could walk through that tunnel and be in another world, right? In a fantastical version of Japan, I guess, which is silly. But, ooh, check it out. Pieces of what my friends call Japanese lobster, which of course are just crayfish. Just crayfish that birds come out here and tear apart and drop their pieces all over the place. It's just rude. Clean up after yourselves, birds. But the thing with Kyoto, and this is what I've mentioned in one of my other videos, is that I do need your help and people's help getting the word out about it, because just because my channel is small, right? Like I don't have the wherewithal of like Hiko Simon or Give Me a Break Man that they were able to use so successfully to get the Tokyo gathering together and get 200 people there. To be honest with you, I'd be happy with if 20 people showed up for the Kyoto gathering. Right now we have, I think, 10 people who are confirmed to be coming, but I'd like to see 10 people, 10 more people, 30 people total would be nice. Get there. And yeah, the big thing for me is that, I don't know, it's kind of lonely. It's kind of, yeah, I mean it is though, it's kind of lonely being a YouTuber out here in Hokuriku region of Japan. I'm sure there has to be like a YouTuber or two in Fukui City or someplace in the prefecture, right? Just like statistically, I feel like there has to be another YouTuber, but I don't know them. I haven't met them. So anyway, point being is that I want to, I don't know, I want to bring more YouTube activity to this part of Japan. And Kansai, where Kyoto and Osaka are, seems like I'm not going to be able to convince anybody, right, to come to Fukui for a meetup. And I don't want to have one here. It's kind of a boring city, to be honest with you. But so that's the point of Kyoto, is to, then we can have the Osaka meetup, which I think Unrested usually organizes in the spring. The Osaka Hanami. And then I thought it'd be cool if we can have like a little gathering too in Kyoto in the fall. So I don't know. And I understand too, like I do worry that people aren't going to be interested in leaf viewing, right? Because whatever, it's leaves and you can see those anywhere in the country. But Kyoto is like ridiculously famous for its leaf viewing, to the point where you could consider that like the fall version of the Hanami, right? Like tons and tons of people from around the country flock to Kyoto in the fall because they want to see the leaves surrounding all those wonderful temples and whatnot, right? So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Come check it out. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna get to know each other. We're going to drink things. Then we're going to say offensive things about each other because we've been drinking things. It's gonna be wonderful, you know? So I'll leave the info in the description. You guys can check that out. But yeah. I guess I'll go to this park. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Oh, ridiculous. Last night actually I was kind of stood up for the first time in my life, which is crazy. I of course shouldn't complain. I won't complain. To be honest with you, it was kind of like a good thing I was stood up, because the night before I had gone out and made some bad life decisions and wound up hungover with a gachapon that somebody had bought me and a phone number in my pocket. So anyway, needless to say, I wasn't feeling great yesterday. But that said, yesterday there was so much stuff happening in here in Sabae. Like, there was the non-profit organization's fall Matsuri. And at that, there was a yakitori festival. Just like 20 shops, 20 yakitori shops, right? Where you could just get like jerk chicken yakitori or tandoori chicken yakitori. So many different kinds of yakitori. And yeah, so I went to that. And that night, there was also the last like big hanabi. Fucking tea. Boop. Maybe I'll bleep that out. I don't know. Yeah, the last hanabi of the season. So I was going to this, and then the person I was supposed to go with just never showed up. So I waited for her for like an hour and a half. and I ended up missing the fireworks, which honestly, that's the part that pisses me off the most, is that I missed the fireworks, and they're the last thing of the season, so, but even so, being stood up can be a good thing, you know? As I think somebody pointed out on Twitter, maybe you don't, maybe that's a good way to find out that maybe you really don't want to date people. You know, obviously if they can't be bothered to call you and let you know that they can't come, maybe they're not worth your time. And then I got to go home and sleep, which I like because then I can get up early, or make sure I'm up at my normal time of about 7 o'clock, so I can get all pretty for you guys, make my cup of java and or cha here, and go for one of these walks. It's a beautiful enough morning though, isn't it? Oh, today, related, I'm going to get my, what is it called? Komatsu? I'm drawing a blank, even though I just read what they were called yesterday, but I think it's a komatsu. Anyway, it's like those tables, right? Those short tables. Oh, am I getting the shakes? Those short tables that you can that have like a heater built underneath them, so that in the winter you can just throw like a blanket or whatever over the top of the table, and then you can sit at the table reading or writing or studying or eating or whatever, and have like your bottom half be warm from beneath. Major fire hazard, by the way. It's, you know, it's a good way to burn down my apartment. But I'm really excited to do it anyway, just because last winter was just so miserable, and I had to keep the heater on all the time, or I had to wrap myself in like 4 layers of blankets, and then I was still sort of miserable at the midway point, because here's a true fact. If you come here for an eikaiwa job at least, chances are you're going to be put into like a Leo Palace or like another mansion, which are basically, I mean, they're basically like sort of low end. They're low end apartments, right? Like they're single rooms. I mean, if you've seen the apartment tour video, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, the insulation is terrible. So in the summer, you could keep your AC on all day, and then you could leave for a few minutes, and you come back, and it all would have escaped, and your room would have gotten hot. And the same thing holds true in the winter. Like if you leave in the morning after heating your apartment, it's not going to stay all that warm. You will come back from your day at school into a freezing apartment, and instant turtle mode, if you know what I'm saying. So, gonna buy some candles, cheap way to heat the apartment, also get the komatsu. I really hope that's the right word. I think I'm forgetting it, but anyway, that is the end of our Cuppa, so that would mark the end of this first experimental entry, right? Before we go, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here at this wonderful sign dealing with dog poop with a raccoon on it, or a red panda, I don't know what it is. きれいにしよう、みなの公園。犬の糞は持ち帰りましょう. Which means, this is everyone's park, so let's keep it beautiful. Please take your dog poo home with you. Important life lesson out there, people. Please take your dog poo home with you. Don't make people step on it. It's just rude. And on that wonderful stinky note, thanks always for watching, guys. Let me know if you like these sort of rambly, random videos showing off some things. Even though I think I talked more than showed you anything. It's kind of how I do. Yeah, let me know. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. And if you guys like it, we'll keep going. And see you guys very soon indeed. Cheers.